Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. I'm Office Bloke Daz.
I'm Gaynor.
I'm Office Bloke Aidan.
Here we are, three of us.
Yep.
Top Christmas toys from the 1980s and 1990s.
What was your favourite Christmas toy?
Stretch Armstrong.
I've never had a Stretch Armstrong, I don't think. I think my brother might have had one. I remember getting a calculator one year.
Was it musical?
On the channel. It was music. I could play the calculator.
Did you not get a wrestling ring one?
No.
I got that.
No, it was the
I know
kids.
you did.
No, I didn't really have wrestling. They had Big Daddy and Giant Haystacks when I was a kid. But I got things like Skeletrick. If I was lucky, probably like to share it with my brothers, type thing, a toy for us all. But I'd get things like the Dukes of Hazzard car,
right?
Things like that. A yo-yo,
yeah,
was quite a popular
Yo-yo
gift.
classic.
Yeah, popular gift.
I like
Rubik's
Cube, like so, like maybe into the like more was like 10 or 11. I'd get that.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was always like cars and stuff like that.
My favourite was.
That's a good present. That car.
Starsky, I got a car.
Copycat, which was a doll, and when I drew, she drew the same thing on the other side.
Very advanced technology. Yeah. What's your best Christmas gift you've ever had, Aidan?
Ooh. It's got to be them slippers I bought you. They were like claw feet.
Yeah. That's a good question, actually.
You get things in the past like PS5 or...
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
that's definitely up there, because I use that all the time, don't I?
Should we get into this anyway?
Yeah.
Top Christmas toys from the 1980s and 1990s. Some of these might make you laugh, Aidan.
Yeah.
Whoop. Like that.
It seems like every year there's a new toy that comes out, and
do you know what Mike reckons is going to be the big toy for this year?
What?
Or the big thing for this year? Like every year something comes out that's really big. We did the drone video with Mike, like what me and you did last week. Did the one with Mike today. He reckons it's going to be a drone. He reckons it's a ploy to sell drones at Christmas, and everyone's going to want one.
Maybe.
That's what he thinks.
That's kind of come and gone a little bit. Though.
It's a bit late, isn't it?
Yeah, and also you can't fly them anywhere.
Well, it's going to sell that in New Jersey.
Yeah. Yeah.
comes the latest fad just in time for Christmas. Oftentimes these toys are in high demand with a short supply. So if your parents were able to get you the most wanted toy of the year, then consider yourself lucky. There's no telling what they had to go through to get it.
We could
In
never afford
today's
that.
video, we will discuss the most popular Christmas toys of the 1980s and 1990s.
Tell you what I did get one year was it called Asteroids? A little box, like a little plaything. You had a little joystick and a fire button, and it was like a little TV about this big, like built onto it. I can't remember what it was called. Was it called Asterix? Something like that, where you had to dock the spaceship.
It was Asteroid, I think.
1974, a Hungarian toy designer named Erno Rubik created a 3D geometric puzzle called the Magic Cube. This interesting contraption landed in the hands of the Ideal Toy and Novelty Company, who renamed it the Rubik's Cube. This became the biggest toy of 1980, and kids everywhere wanted one for Christmas. Within the first 2 years, they sold more than 100 million units. The success of the toy has led to other geometric puzzle toys, but the Rubik's Cube has remained popular ever since. There are even competitions to see who can solve it the fastest. In 1981, He-Man and the Masters of the Universe was created, and it was introduced as a series of incredibly muscly action figures. At the time, they were nearly 2 inches larger than Kenner's Star Wars and Hasbro's G.I. Joe action figures. Every little boy wanted He-Man and Castle Grayskull for Christmas that year. Hasbro's My Little Pony gave Barbie a run for her money in the Christmas season of 1982.
I don't get, what are you going to do with that?
Play with it.
You just play with it.
Play with it.
It's a kid's thing. The kids like, My Little Pony.
You know what you got?
Dancing around with it.
Do you know what I had to go to about 5 different stores to get you? Tickle Me Elmo.
Yeah,
you probably don't remember, do you?
No, that was another one that went mental. Everyone wanted it. It was very difficult to get back in the day.
Yeah, I'd have to get him one.
Oh, right.
You
I remember
was I begging for it?
Yeah.
I was getting like a massive teddy bear. I was walking through the streets of Rotterdam with a teddy bear that was like 8 foot.
Because on my Christmas it said world's biggest
Big
teddy bear.
Yeah.
These toys came in a range of small vinyl horses with long and bright groomable hair. Each pony had its own adorable name, as well as a unique emblem branded on the hind quarters. One of the craziest Christmas toys of all time has to be the Cabbage Patch Kids. The dolls can be defined as having a large round head and a doughy body. They first appeared on a television show in 1980 and were called Real People. In 1983, the renamed Cabbage Patch doll created a terror in the stores when parents desperately pushed, shoved, elbowed, and punched their way down the toy aisle in hopes of snagging this doll before Christmas.
Do you know they go for an absolute fortune?
I was going to say,
now.
I bet they're quite
if you've got
collectible.
if you've got the whole collection, it's an absolute fortune.
Yeah, I was going to say, I bet they're quite collectible.
This became known as the Great Cabbage Patch Craze. If you received a Cabbage Patch doll that Christmas, then I'm sure your parents have an interesting story behind that adventure. In 1984, Hasbro introduced Transformers, and the toys were the hottest items for that Christmas. These Japanese toys could shapeshift from robots to motor vehicles and more. The toys were launched with an epic backstory and a supporting line of comic books. The Transformers craze continued to grow with television shows, games, films, and even their own cereal. In 1985, the world was introduced to Teddy Ruxpin. He was a cuddly animatronic teddy bear that could read bedtime stories, and he was developed by a former Disney Imagineer named Ken Forsey.
Yeah.
Teddy's technology was the same kind that was being used in animatronics at theme parks. The bear had a cassette tape player and facial features that would move with words. Teddy was somewhat pricey, but he became the best-selling toy of 1985 and 1986 with sales in the millions. By the mid-80s, the Atari craze had slowed, and many thought the gaming console idea would soon be a thing of the past. That's where Nintendo set out to change everyone's thinking. Japan infiltrated the American market in 1985.
Japan are quite good at infiltrating these markets for Christmas toys, aren't they?
Yeah.
Remember the Tamagotchi and all that, and Pokemon, Yu-Gi-Oh, all them cards and all that sort of bollocks they used to come out with.
I don't remember Yu-Gi-Oh.
Yu-Gi-Oh cards, I know what they are, but I've never seen anyone that actually had them.
I think you had them.
I had
Yu-Gi-Oh cards, yeah.
No, I definitely didn't have them.
Yeah,
I was a Match Attacks kind of guy.
Yeah. Well, we'll see.
You know what you used to love? What were those? Match Attacks. Not Match Attacks. What do you call it?
Tech decks?
No, not those. What the cards where you collected them and when you had to play against each
Top
other?
Trumps.
Top Trumps.
Top Trumps, yeah.
With the Nintendo North American division. They reassured retailers that they only had to pay for the units sold, and any units not sold could be returned for credit. This gamble didn't really pay off the first year, but in 1986, Super Mario Bros. Was released and sales skyrocketed.
Mad, innit?
Kids who received this game system as a present that Christmas will never forget the feeling they had when they first saw it and played it.
Way out of our
The
price
Nintendo
range.
Entertainment System solidified the game console, and people have been gaming ever since.
Jeffrey Dahmer got one though.
In 1987, the Koosh ball came out and became the most desired toy for that Christmas. It was invented in 1986 by Scott Stillinger after he was having trouble teaching his young children how to catch. The Koosh ball was intended to be soft enough not to hurt anyone, but also much easier to catch. The name for the ball came from the sound it made when it was caught in his hand. Scott was so confident in his design that he quit his
And that's the generation we've built now. Too scared to get on the head with a baseball. Catch! Poof, whoosh, black eye.
job in order to begin manufacturing this new Koosh ball. Troll dolls were created out of wood in the late 1950s by a Danish fisherman named Thomas Dam. American toy companies copied the concept with a plastic version that became popular in the 1960s. Troll dolls re-emerged in the late 1980s, and it became highly sought after in 1988. Kids not only loved them, but so did the adults who decorated their workspaces and offices with them. In 1989, the Game Boy from Nintendo became the highest desired item of the Christmas season. This 8-bit handheld console had an enticing design with a bunch of great games. The game system was convenient, and kids were soon playing these everywhere. This follow-up to the Nintendo Entertainment System became an instant hit, and it revolutionized portable gaming for the future.
Toys R Us.
The price of them as well.
Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles became huge thanks to a massively popular animated series about witty crime fighting.
Crazy how they can stay so popular for so long as well, can't they? It's Arlo's favourite thing now.
Yeah, because they've reinvented them now, haven't they? And then they made a movie.
eating turtles with an appetite for New York pizza. In 1990, their live-action movie was released, and the turtles had totally taken over the youth market. That same year, they became the best-selling toys for that Christmas. These fighting turtles remained popular throughout the 1990s, and even today, people can't get enough of them.
Yeah.
It's such like a random thing as well. Like, who's come up with like Ninja Turtles
that live in the subway and eat pizza?
Yeah. and they're all called after an artist.
Yeah.
Super Nintendo hit the market in 1991, and it was a follow-up to their ever-popular original gaming console. However, this time, Nintendo faced stiffer competition from the competing 32-bit console, Sega Genesis. The first major console war had officially begun, but that Christmas it was Super Nintendo that came out on top. The Talk Boy made its grand debut in Home Alone 2: Lost in New York as a handheld recording device used by the movie's prankster, Kevin McAllister. A retail version was released on the same day as the movie, and it became the top toy for Christmas in 1992. This toy became so popular that several spin-off versions were created, including Talk Girl and Talk Boy FX Plus. In 1993, the Super Soaker became the hottest toy of that year, so much so that kids still wanted one for Christmas. It was developed by a NASA engineer named Lonnie Johnson. He was working on a heat pump that could use vaporized water pressure instead of hazardous Freon. When the pump sent
I used to drive with one in my car. Put the windows down and spray people when I was younger. Stood at the bus stop and
They would nerf. That's still so popular.
Yeah.
Like, it's still a big thing.
They just make them bigger and better, don't
The
they?
size of that
The
one.
size of that.
a stream of water across the room, Johnson pivoted towards creating a high-powered water blaster instead. His first prototype was called the Power Drencher, and it was made out of PVC pipe and an empty soda bottle.
That was me as well. I used to have
In
Nerf fights all
1993,
time
the
as a
Fox
kid.
Kids Afternoon TV block introduced the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, and the live-action
Power Rangers.
showdown
Yeah.
soon rose to fame. Their immediate success gave way for the toys, which became highly desired for Christmas
pink
in
one was called
1994. The following year, in 1995, a movie was released.
They were
In
around for a while.
1995, the world was introduced to
Babies.
Thai Beanie Babies. These inexpensive bean-filled animals became super popular, and they were on most kids' Christmas lists that year. Soon both kids and adults were collecting them and hoping to find the rare and valuable ones.
You had a snake and a lizard one.
Did I?
Yeah.
I've had a lot of these. I don't even know.
Everyone had a Beanie Baby.
Yeah. Both you and your brother used to argue which one you could buy from the store.
These dolls came at a time when the internet was just really starting to take off. That, combined with a supply and
Well, the
demand
walrus on the
issue,
right.
led to a
Yeah.
collecting frenzy. Today, there are certain Beanie Babies that some people claim are worth thousands of dollars
Yeah.
on the resale market. In
There it
1996, Tyco Toys hit it big with Elmo and his infectious laugh. They released Tickle Me Elmo, and the Sesame Street doll became the most in-demand toy of the Christmas season. During the Tickle Me Elmo craze, shoppers trampled over store employees
Yeah,
and engaged in
there's me
physical
somewhere.
battle with other parents, all in the name of the Christmas spirit.
I wouldn't have it in me to do that.
Before cell phones really
Like,
took
if there's too many people in the store buying the same thing, I'm not even going to try.
Oh, what about your poor children?
Well,
We've
tell
had-
them there's always next year.
There was some toy that they wanted ages ago. I can't remember what it was when they were very little, and I managed to get it from someone who's a. Do you remember? It's someone we knew.
Yeah,
And I
what
phoned
was it?
someone texted me and said, "I've got some if you want to buy one." And I went, "Yeah, save me some."
I think it might have been Tickle
It might have been one of them that we got from someone we
Tickle
knew.
Me Elmo.
But we got the PS5 when you couldn't get a PS5. I managed to
Oh,
get one
yeah,
from
that
someone
was
I knew.
clutch.
Yeah,
Respect for that.
yeah.
took over, teens and preteens became hooked on a virtual pet named Tamagotchi in 1997. This little keychain game required the user to give constant attention
was
to their
great
little
fun.
pet, or it would
No,
starve
do you know what
and
it
die.
was? You had
The
to,
pet,
you had to
it's
look
feed
after
it.
it and feed it and everything. If you didn't, it died.
Really?
Yeah. Then that was the end of that.
That was like the first.
What, it
sort of
actually
like-
just never turns back on?
No.
No, that was it. If you didn't look after it,
You
it
have to,
kind of
you have to
died.
feed it and like.
Hi. There were multiple different ones, and they were on the top of Santa's Christmas list for that season. Soon after, these toys could be seen on backpacks everywhere. In 1998, the Furby craze came onto the scene. Hasbro came out with these furry creatures that sort of resembled a gremlin and an owl mixed together. During the holiday season, parents were once again fighting in the stores in order to bring home this highly coveted gift.
Was it generally
This
fighting?
toy found its way into millions of homes where it would speak Furbish until it learned other phrases like I love you. Furby also became a toy that caught the attention of the US government, who wanted these toys banned from military bases and high security buildings such as the Pentagon. The fear at the time was that they could spy on different operations and leak top secret information. Today, this seems laughable considering how everyone has cell phones, but it was a hot topic in the late 1990s. In 1996, Pokémon became a Game Boy game, and then it quickly grew into TV shows, toys, and movies. But nothing seemed as big as the Pokémon trading cards.
Yeah.
In 1999, kids everywhere began collecting the cards.
Did I have some of them?
Yeah.
We've got. I was saying this, but we were doing a video before. We were talking about collectibles that are that you might have value in the 2000s, and I think at the warehouse we've got folders full of these.
Mate, do you know how expensive they are?
Yeah.
I think we've got folders full of them in some of the storage
If there's like
boxes.
certain cards in there, they're worth tens of thousands.
I think we've got folders like that. You know, the ones that you turn pages with the
Yeah.
plastic wallets. I think we've got a few of them.
On a lot of kids' Christmas lists that same year. Today, there are certain cards in the right condition that can be worth a lot of money.
I need to find them.
Toys are a huge part of our childhood, and no matter what you had, you'll never forget them.
Did everyone just rock the same like glasses and hairstyle
Yeah.
back then, or what?
Them glasses were like, from what I remember, it's same as, I don't know if it was the same in the USA because this is all USA sort of based, but in the UK we had what they called national health glasses. So it was like what you only got, you didn't choose, you got a free pair if you were like a kid and you had to wear glasses.
And they were just black.
They're just black, like what looked like kind of Ray-Ban frames now,
Right, yeah.
but they just used to give them you, and so everyone had the same glasses. I don't know if it worked the same in the USA where if you were a kid with no, but if you didn't have any money, you just got these glasses and they break pretty quick. And then my brother used to have glasses, and lenses were like double glazed windows, and like bottom, the bottom of a milk bottle looked like that. They were dead thick, big glasses like. But he used to have plasters on the sides. We didn't have any tape on the side, but it was like
holding them together.
It's like that grey tape, you know, that electrical tape, and all that holding them together. God.
So what were your favorite toys and some of your memories with them? I would love to know more in the comments.
Yeah, what's like the
G.I.
most
Joe.
memorable toy that you had as a kid then?
G.I. Joe probably was mine. I used to collect, but it wasn't called G.I. Joe, we call it Action Man over here. So I'd get like a tank, like a little Jeep, and I'd get different things for my birthday and Christmas, so I'd get like a bit of the collection, little soldiers, all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Make like a little army.
I always wanted a Barbie doll, but Cindy was cheaper. So
Cindy
I got
was
the
cheaper,
Cindy.
yeah.
Do you know what was
And then
big when I... Well, go on, what were you going to
I'm
say?
saying then, and then I wanted the wardrobe, and I wanted the wardrobe, and my friend Alison got the wardrobe. My mum made mine, and it was a box that you opened it, it had 2 wine glasses in it, so it closed like that, so it looked like a wardrobe, and she gave me that.
It could be worse. My dad made me a skateboard.
That's quite sick.
Well, wait till I tell you how he made it. Right, he got a shopping trolley, a shopping cart from like Asda or Walmart or whatever, and he took the wheels off it, put them on a board.
Remember when me and Declan
Skirting
used to do
board.
that outside?
Yeah.
We used to go to
skirting
the
board.
scrapyard and just get loads of random stuff and try and make like a go-kart.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that's that's how we used to get skateboard.
Yeah.
But old man used to just go down the hill. Everyone was like skateboarding down the hill. I'd go on mine and just turn one way, just kept going left into the wall after about 2 meters.
Yeah, my favourite one was that it was obviously Nerf guns. It was tech decks a little bit at school as well. But the best thing was that electric scooter that I had when I was a kid.
Yeah.
Electric. They were quickly electric scooters, aren't they? Big now again, still big, aren't they? Electric
Yeah,
scooters.
yeah.
But it's, I remember when she got a
Oh
like a
no! I
quad
tell
bike.
you what. Yeah, that one I was really young.
Yeah,
when
you
I was
got a quad.
riding that. That was sick.
Yeah.
What was that green machine thing?
Yeah.
That was proper cool.
Yeah.
We had some good stuff over the
Yeah.
years. I tried to live my life through you guys by getting you better stuff than what I got, because I got just a load of shit. When I think about it.
I think that's what Declan's doing now as well with Arlo. He keeps coming up with presents, and I'm like, I think that's more for you.
Yeah. Anyway. Let us know what you got as a kid in the 80s and 90s. If anything was missed off there.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of anything that might have been missed off that wasn't on there.
I'm not going to be able to think of it.
Yeah.
Can't think everything was pretty much covered, but hope you guys enjoyed it as well. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and see you on the next one.
Bye.
Cheers.